The first method is kind of a pointy clicky way of taking care of this. So we need to actually enable a helper module. So go ahead and click on the modules button in your admin toolbar. Scroll down to the update manager and make sure that is enabled. So you click the checkbox and save configuration. This update manager is going to give us an interface where we can easily install a new module. Once we've done that, we're going to have a link here at the top that says install new module. Let's click that, and it says we can actually install from a URL. For this example, I want to install the Views module. So I'm going to go to the Views project page at drupal.org/project/views. Scroll down to the recommended 7 version. I'm going to right click on the tar, copy the link address, and go back and paste that link in and click install. So when you install a module this way, you never need to touch the files. Drupal will go ahead and do it for you. And that can be definitely beneficial. But it's important to know what Drupal actually just did. So you can see our Views was installed successfully. If we go and take a look at our files, I am now looking at the root of my Drupal website. This looks just like yours. We've got our folders for includes, misc, modules, private profiles, and so on. The common misconception is thinking that you would put downloaded modules in the modules directory, and that's not correct. This modules directory is only for core modules, and you should actually never touch anything in here. Anytime you download a contrib module or theme, or you write any custom code, all of that is actually going to go in your sites directory. Anything that's not part of Drupal core that you download and implement goes in your sites directory. Inside your sites directory, there are 2 folders, default and all. Your default folder has your settings.php, which tells Drupal about your database. It also has your folder for files. So anytime someone uploads an image, it will get saved into this files folder. Your sites all has 2 folders at minimum, modules and themes. Sometimes it'll have a libraries folder as well. And in your modules folder, that's where you put all your contributed code. So we just downloaded the Views module, and Drupal went ahead and put that module for us right in here, which was very, very helpful, except for the fact that it didn't check to see if I had all the requirements that I needed. I mentioned before, when you're looking at project pages, oftentimes it will tell you if there's any dependencies. And I know for a fact that Views requires ctools. And when I used the clicking method, the GUI interface in the update manager, it wasn't really checking for all those dependencies. So let's go ahead and download Chaos Tools Suite a different way. Let's click on the tar.gz for the recommended 7x version, and once this downloads, it's going to go just to my desktop, so I can head over there and I can unpack it. So there's that file. Double click on it for me to unpack it, and then I'm going to take my ctools folder and I'm going to paste it in my sites all modules folder. I'll go ahead and paste it right there. That's another way that you can download a module. The next thing that you need to go ahead and do is on your site is we need to go back and we need to actually enable modules. So we're going to go back to the administration pages, and so we can click on the modules and see both of the ones that we downloaded. I'm going to go ahead and minimize core, and I'm going to take a look, and here we go, the Views UI. That's the one that I really want to enable. A lot of modules will come such that there is the module and then the user interface is a separate sub-module. This is so that on your production site you can just disable the UI so no one can make any changes. So I'm going to go ahead and say I want to enable the Views UI. This requires Views and Chaos Tools, which I have downloaded both of those, so that's great. Drupal's going to ask me now, hey, do you want me to enable those other modules because those are requirements? And I say, sure, go right ahead. So it's going to go ahead and turn all of these modules on for us. So like I said, we tried two different methods for downloading. We had the install new module method where we just pasted that URL. Other challenges with this is you can't really do this on a production website anyways because there's some permissions issues for the server. This is something that you can do locally. Another thing that we always recommend is once in your local environment you download your module and you enable it, that you use source control to commit that new module to your repository so that your production server, you can just say, oh, please update my code base, and all of your new code will get up there onto your production server. Otherwise, you'll have to FTP your modules over. The other method that we discussed was sites all modules and going ahead and pasting the module directly into that directory. And that's the most common method. I do want to talk to you about a couple other things that you might end up seeing on your site if you've inherited a site, and also tools to help you. If we go into the modules directory, a lot of times you're going to see other folders instead of the CTools, the demo, and the views. You're going to see a folder called contrib for contributed modules. And you're going to see a folder called custom for modules that you wrote. And actually what this is people will go ahead and add this extra layer of organization into their site. So now we don't have just sites all modules. We have sites all modules contrib and then our views module. And that's really the recommended way to go. As your site grows and you start writing more and more custom code, separating out the code that you wrote versus the code that you downloaded will be very, very helpful. Another thing that we need to discuss is, well, what happens if you need to patch a module? If you come across a bug and someone in the issue queue says, okay, here's the patch that makes it work, how do you handle that? Well, what I like to actually do is, let's just say the views module, there's a patch out there that's about ready to be rolled in to a stable release, but it's not there yet, and I need that patched code right away. What I will actually do is I will take that folder with the patch in it and I'll put it into my custom directory, because it's no longer a contrib module. I've made changes to it. It is now considered custom, and included in that I will put that patch file, and I can just paste the patch file right in there. So that was a lot of information about how to kind of organize your code. That as your site grows, it's really important. Again, the reason why I will, if I need to patch a module, I move it into my custom directory. It's so when it comes time to update modules to their most recent releases, I know that, oh, this one's special. It's no longer, in line with what was going on Drupal.org. I've made changes to it. The tried and true method for updating modules when new releases come out is to actually delete the old version and then paste in the new version, and then you go ahead and you run your update.php script. And that's usually the best way to go, making sure that you have all of the correct code now in place. So again, you would delete, let's say, the views module and then paste in the new version of the views module. Again, another reason why, if you're patching a module, you move it into the custom directory so you don't accidentally delete all the patchwork that you were hoping to save. So easy enough to install modules. You just find the module you want. You can download the tar-gz and paste it yourself into Sites All Modules Contrib, or you can use the install new module link from that Update Manager module, and this will go ahead and copy the code for you. And we'll be using the Views module later in this series.